Hello Legacy students, so today we're going to look at section 6.6, which is on graphing systems of inequalities. Some stuff you're going to want to have on you, two different color pencils or two different colors of some nature, your notes, and then the note sheet I handed out to you guys in class. So what do we already know? We know that when we graph a system of equations, we get a solution, which is this point right here. That is the solution where the two lines intersect. But now, what about inequalities? What if you graph inequalities? So I have the inequality y is less than x plus 2 and y is less than negative x plus 3. And I have their graphs right below. So what if I would make a system out of those two? Technically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those two graphs together. I'm going to graph them on the same coordinate plane, just like I did here. Notice how I have now this area right here that is much darker than the rest. That is where my solutions, hence the S, lie. System of inequalities will always have a region of solutions, not just a single point. You're going to have many points that you can use. So this is some stuff you're going to want to write down. A solution to a system of equations is one point where the lines intersect. So you're always going to have just one point when you're just doing equations. Inequalities, your solution is going to be a region of points where the shading intersects. It's where those two shades, two colors are going to intersect for you. That is where your solution is. Now, graphing will be much easier if you use two colors. That way you'll be able to see where the two are going and where you can see it. So, this is what you should have gotten from me today in class. Solving a system of inequalities. So, very first thing what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to solve each inequality for y. So let's go. 2x plus y is less than 4. So I'm going to solve this inequality for y. So let's subtract 2x. So I'll get y is less than negative 2x plus 4. Wonderful. That one's solved. Let's try the other one. And I'm going to make that one a different color here. Let's go purple. X minus 3y is less than or equal to 9. Subtract x, so I'm solving for y, remember. Yeah, negative 3y is less than or equal to negative x plus 9. Solving for y, we need to divide by negative 3. So I get y is less than, whoop, hold on. I divided by a negative. Silly, silly me. Let's make sure that we change that sign around. There we go. 1/3 x minus 3. So remember, whenever you divide by a negative, you have to change that sign around. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to graph these two lines. So I'm going to graph, my very first one, I'm going to graph in the red. So graph that, negative 2x plus 4. So just like we were doing when we were just graphing inequalities, we're going to start at our y-intercept of 4, right there, and go down 2 over 1, just like you normally have graphed. So down 2, 1, 2, over 1, down 2 over 1, and so on, and so on. Connect my lines. Now, if you look back, when you're graphing inequalities, what did we have to make sure? We had to check on the line, right? We had to make sure, was it a solid line or a dashed line? So dashed meant that it was not equal to, which I have a not equal to 1. So I have to have a dashed line on this one. So same rule applies. Now let's do our purple line. I'm going to start at negative 3, it looks like. There. Now I need to go up 1 over 3 using my slope. So up 1 over 3. 1, 2, 3, right there. Let's go down 1 over 3 also. There we go. Now, what kind of line am I going to use? A solid or a dotted? That's right, I'm going to use a solid line. So let's connect our dots with a solid line. Now, I haven't shaded yet. So let's shade our red side. So I'm going to take 0, 0 and plug it in for x and y. So I'm going to get 0 plus 0. So I'm going to get 0 is less than 4. So is 0 less than 4? That's the question I have to ask myself. Yes, 0 is less than 4. So then I get to shade on the side of 0, 0 with my red. So there's my red shade. Now let's do the purple side. Let's plug 0, 0 in just like we did before. So I'm going to get 0 is less than or equal to 9. Is 0 less than or equal to 9? Yeah. So we're going to shade on the side of 0, 0. So now, where my purple and my red intersected is where my answer lies. So right here is where my intersection, that's my solution, my region of solutions. Now let's do an example of no solution. So I have x plus 2. So let's graph that. Here's plus 2 right here. Up 1, up 1. It looks like it's a dotted line, so I'm going to do a dotted line here. So that's my purple. Let's figure out 2. I'm going to have 0 is greater than or equal to 0 plus 2. That is 0 is greater than 2, right? Is 0 greater than 2? I hope not. So let's graph on the side that doesn't have 0, since I got a false statement. There we go. New color. Let's go with green. I'm going to color this one in green. X minus 1. So minus 1 is going to be my y-intercept. Then we're going to go up 1 all the way. It looks like it's another dotted line. Whoop, I messed up on that one. Something like that. And I'm going to get 0 is less than or equal to 0 minus 1. That is 0 is less than negative 1. Is that the truth? No. So we're going to graph on the side that doesn't have 0, 0. So notice how they don't intersect. That is a no solution problem. They don't intersect. When your two shades are not going to intersect, you cannot have a solution at all. That's the end of the video. See you later, Sabers.